average rich white man feeds like the average wretched African man. But the average poor white man feeds like the rich African man. I'll give you the reason.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Truth Tribe, where we talk about the ups and downs in business, lifestyle, and entertainment. I am your host for today. My name is Gosgit Chidiko Kafo, and with me is my co-host Kenneth Jeze. And today we have an amazing guest with us on set today. She's a visionary, a woman of substance, and an inspiration to so many young women out there. She's a veterinary doctor with a DVM and MSc, and she's also a registered member of the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association and a licensed member of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. She's also a toxicologist, a trained sack farmer, and an agro educationist. She is no other than Dr. Mrs. Ijeoma Ofor. It's good to have you on set today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Ma. So, as an agro educationist, for people out there who don't know what it means to be an agro educationist, could you enlighten them and explain to them what it means to be an agro educationist?
Basically, in this age and time where we've known that we've transited beyond the scope of limiting yourself to professions, classroom professions, being defined by the four walls of what the university offered. We understand that an agro educationist is someone who will be able to train people on different facets of agriculture, proper information, emphasis on giving out the proper information to people who are supposed to benefit and influence their environment when they get the right information on improved, emerging, and current trends of agriculture that is in turn going to favor the economy, favor everyone around. So that is basically what an agro educationist does.
Okay, so what are the current trends that you mentioned?
Basically, in crop farming, there are current trends that have been adopted because of the growth in migration from the rural to the urban areas and
Okay.
trying to preserve the interests of those who still love farming. And one of those improved trends is what we generally refer to as sack farming.
Okay.
Okay, that envelopes every form of farming in sack, ranging from farming pepper, tomatoes, potatoes, even the great yam is now being farmed in sacks very successfully.
So there's no need of people digging holes now trying to.
Yes, there is still that need, but people are not now restricted to digging holes because we still have failed farming. But it's no longer that restriction that if you do not dig farms in the field, you cannot farm. That restriction is not there anymore.
I think it's very nice. No, you must not have a mass land before you do. You can even be doing it in your backyard, right?
Absolutely. That's the part where it's called improved farming.
Okay.
Improved in the sense that you find out that you can actually make use of the little space you have in the city.
Yeah.
Those who live in places where you have the compound floor fully paved, you don't
Okay.
have to break the paved environment. You don't have to break the concrete for you to be able to farm. You can make use of that little space behind your building, within the compound, within the confines of your one plot, two plot, half plot. You can make the best use of that little space to farm.
That's actually a welcome development.
Yes.
Very welcome. I'm very successful at that.
Okay. So then again, I would like to get to know what actually inspired your purpose to pursue this career.
As an agro leaned person, someone leaning towards agriculture, one of the things that is beautiful about agriculture is that it bridges the gap of starvation. Every man must eat. And when you cannot eat, of course, you're delimiting yourself. The next thing is death, autophagy, and all of that. So that ability for you to be able to impact on others, the knowledge of being able to use the little space they have to make something much. That is one of the beautiful things, the beautiful rewards, and the ability to know that even if you don't sell, you can feed your family
Exactly.
and you bridge the gap of starvation, you bridge the gap of lack.
Yeah.
Because at the stage we are in this country, the commercial farmers, the big farmers, should actually be vested in farming for export, while we, on the small scale, or the majority of Nigerians in the small scale, should be able to feed from their produce. So, but a lot of people, when they research the market, there is dearth of produce because there isn't even enough to go around, let alone export. And you know that every country's IGR is greater when they have a lot of exports. So that is one of the things that encouraged me to go into, because I love being involved in community development programs. So anything that is going to make my community better off, I'd love to bring it to the knowledge of people in my community.
Okay, so this idea of this whole thing, you've had it way before, or
I've
when
had it
you
way before I even sought out the training. You know,
okay,
I've had it way before I sought out the training because it was an interest and I needed to have a better knowledge, and some institutes I sought out brought courses that we went through. And one of the beautiful things about the country right now is that you don't need to enroll into a course at a degree level for you to have adequate knowledge. You can
yes,
have a knowledge enough for you to now use as a stepping stone to improve. Right now, even on Saturday, I was in another class, another stepping stone class. We learn every day,
yeah, trying to
and
get more
you,
knowledge on it.
yes, you get more knowledge,
Yeah.
and each and every day, even this improved farming, there is a new trend,
Yes,
improvement.
yes,
It keeps going on and on and on, nothing redundant about improvement. So every day we seek out knowledge from very verifiable institutions. That's very important, so
people that
that
know more.
exactly, and people that are certified in the area of agriculture. Yes.
That's nice.
That's
Thank you very
amazing.
much. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
so I'm sure you have personal experiences and challenges you faced in your field and your career. So how did you overcome those challenges?
Most challenges are overcome when you have an inbuilt interest. It helps you not lose focus because you know where you're going to. And like they say, every good thing has its own challenges. The general saying is nothing good comes easy.
Yeah.
So you already have to know that, yes, even if we are, even the life, living a life itself is a challenge. Even when you do not have anything doing, it's still challenging.
Sure.
So I, for me, it's something that I want to see myself better tomorrow than myself of yesterday. So I know I anticipate those challenges. What I do is I seek out people who have similar stories like I do and who have overcome them. I look at what they are doing better than I am,
More like mentors
and
or
I learn. I have a
coaches.
lot of great mentors in different fields, in my profession, in different professions. I'm not in real estate, but I have mentors in real estate.
Wow.
That's how far I go in
Okay.
seeking mentors, because they tell you real life challenges, real life stories that make you know that what you are going through in the Nigerian slang is moi moi case
And also,
compared to your one.
agriculture is a part of real estate.
Yes.
It's part, yeah, exactly, because you are
Yeah.
dealing with land.
Yeah.
For you to be involved in agriculture, of course, there has to be land. So challenges are bound to come up. Don't ever get daunted by them. And there's general Igbo saying, "Odilim for homaka."
Yes.
You get, that's one thing that is so ingrained in me that once I'm taking a path and it's so easy peasy,
Yeah.
I'm doing something wrong.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You need to stretch yourself.
We need to, and we should not always be running to take it easy, take the easy way
Easy
out.
route, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Shortcuts.
we need to keep challenging ourselves Even the challenges may not come always, but we need to challenge ourselves. That's what makes you that iron that went through a lot of fire to bring out the final
The
version.
gold.
Exactly. Because without the fire, the gold will remain an ore.
Mm.
Very dirty, very unrefined. So that's it. So I really want to encourage our very young ones, our young ones. Don't run away from challenges. They give you a story to tell.
Yes.
They
Yes.
Of the
they
process.
exactly they give you a story to tell. And actually the truth is that the greatest warriors are those who went to the greatest fights and came out
Yes.
better.
Mm.
That's just it.
Yeah, just like they say, tough times don't last, but tough people
Tough
do.
people
People
do.
last, yes.
Yeah.
Tough people do, absolutely. It's not just a mere saying. It's not a myth.
Okay.
It's truth. Tough people do, but tough times they do not last. It's either you overcome them, you suppress them, you see the tough situation and you find a way around it, or just like a season, it passes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so then again, looking at you, you're maintaining your whole stays, you're looking all fresh.
Thank
So,
you.
but and I
Thank
know the
you.
field of agriculture is not the easy one.
No,
So,
no,
how
no.
do you maintain the demand and the balance that comes with agriculture and then your lifestyle as a married
Personal
woman?
lifestyle.
Yeah, when I same it comes also with just like the last question, it still boils down to when you look at people's lives. You also know that you can be the beauty and the beast at the same time. You can roll up your sleeves and go dig it, and
Yeah,
when you come out, you dust up, wash up, move it,
yeah. Heads
and
up.
yes, of course.
Mm.
Go roll up your sleeve, go do the thing. When you finish, when you are in Rome, you do like Romans. That means there's
Yeah.
another place to say apart from Rome
Yes.
too. So
Yeah.
balance is very important,
Yes.
Yeah.
focus is important, and we as humans are built in such a way that we naturally can multitask.
Yes.
We can be different things in different times, in different seasons. Our capabilities are what we make of them.
Yes.
So in work, you have your timing, in focus, to family, you have your timing. It's about planning, it's about communication,
Yes.
Exactly.
it's about laying the right foundation at the right time so that when you need to babysit, you babysit.
Mhm.
By the time the kids grow, you don't babysit teenagers anymore. They already have a set out pattern.
A
Yes.
good foundation.
Exactly, with a good foundation. By the time you're supposed to go into the field, you're not expecting to be called on emergencies, unnecessary emergencies.
Yes.
So it's about planning, timing. Some people sit down, they do a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan.
Yes.
It's not a waste of time.
Mhm.
If you know you want to go into a particular time. I was speaking to one great um big friend of mine. He's about maybe a decade older than I am.
In the same field or just
Not in
the
the same
age?
field, but in some agricultural field, yeah.
Okay.
But he's an engineer, or
Okay.
he's. We've been speaking about setting up his farm,
Okay.
and he just mentioned to me yesterday on the phone that his work, he's giving himself just 3 years to round off whatever he's doing
And retire.
and retire into agriculture. So he's already planned it.
Yes.
There's a vision
And
he's seen in
there's a
this field.
vision. There are certain things that he's setting up in his house. There are certain structural things he's setting up in his house
Mm.
that is going to help him be able to stay away from his house while his people will not be having issues with his absence.
Mm.
So those are preparations.
Yes.
So just like they say generally, if you fail to plan, you
Plan
plan
to
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 fail.
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 That is
Yeah.
very insightful.
Thank you
Yes.
So
very
there is
much.
this perception that people usually have that agriculture is probably for poor people, or maybe for people who didn't really go to school and they had no other choice than to venture into farming. So how do you address the illiteracy we see in urban population?
I usually tell people up front, if you can't farm, you shouldn't eat. Because there's this general saying, don't mind me, I'm a very core Igbo person.
Yeah.
I don't even have an English name. All my
Wow.
names are Igbo.
Are you serious? That means you're proud Igbo.
I am Igbo, like Igbo. Very Igbo. I'm actually very Igbo.
Yeah.
There is this saying, Akajaja,
Nebutono
Nebutono
mano,
Mano.
yeah.
Okay. If you do not have that work ethic, do you know that sometimes when you eat the toil, for instance, a young person who got a job, first salary, and you eat from that first salary, there's this kind of satisfaction,
Yeah.
extra satisfaction it gives you that this is the fruit of my labor,
Yes.
as against freebies.
Mm.
And you tend to value it more.
We
Yes.
should actually discard that mentality that agriculture is dirty.
Mm.
What is actually dirty is fraudster, is being a fraudster.
Exactly.
What is dirty is tricking,
Yes.
social engineering.
Yes.
That's one of the threats of cybersecurity.
Exactly.
Mm.
Social engineering should be dirty. Having a maga or mugu should be dirty.
Yes.
True.
But there is dignity in labor.
Yes.
So whatever labor you are doing, I have a friend. I have a friend. If you see him, tall, dark, and handsome young dude of 30s, but he's a farmer and he's a proud farmer.
Farmer.
Wow.
He is a proud, and I actually sometimes market for him. A lot of great people that look wonderful. Okay, John Dumelo in Ghana. He's practically
Yeah, I've seen his farm.
left
Movie.
industry.
Yeah.
He's not so involved in movie industry as he used to be.
Mm.
He's now into farming, and the man is probably a billionaire right now in dollars.
He deals more on
Cash crops, ginger.
Yes.
He's going into ginger right
and
now.
even poultry.
He's into poultry. He
Yeah.
first veered into poultry.
Yeah.
Actually, he veered into a kind of integrated farming where you balance both livestock and crop.
Yes.
He's right now prospecting into going into the ginger farming. Do you know that just with habanero pepper, tomatoes, you have a lot of money just because
Dealing
you
on
are
that.
just pepper,
Okay.
that you're just a pepper farmer. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot.
So we should actually discard that mentality that farming is dirty. Okay, even if you cannot roll up your sleeves yourself and dig, get laborers.
Yes.
There are so many ways to kill a rat.
Mhm.
Get laborers. Tell them what you want them to do and pay. Maybe go do your white collar job. Use the money from there and some other money you
Yes.
saved up and pay them. That is another way. Because
But
not every farmer
some people
soils their
might be
fingers.
some people might be thinking, okay, if they're not monitoring it, those
No,
laborers
monitor.
will
Of course, you
guide
need
one
to
or two.
monitor.
You have to monitor.
Every business that you hope to
Mm.
succeed, you need to closely monitor
To
those.
supervise.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
it's a business, and every business is aimed at making profit. Yeah.
Yes.
So you need to monitor, even if not daily, weekly, but preferably daily, because you need to be sure that what you are asking them to do is the proper thing. And you need to be sure you too know what the proper thing is.
That's the like going for seminars if not the
Of
school.
course, improve yourself regularly,
Yeah.
regularly with proper information
Yes.
and recent trends. Because what the recent trend does for you is it keeps you on top of what is happening.
Yes.
And you know about working hard and working smart.
Smart.
Yes.
Improved agriculture makes you work
Work
smart,
smart, yeah.
as against working hard.
Mm.
For instance, in farming, if you treat your seedlings or seeds before you farm, there is a great more than 50% chance of you having higher yield and having higher storage shelf life of your produce.
Yeah.
That is smart farming. But if you do not treat your seedlings like in yams, if you do not treat your seeds and plants, there is reduced yield. And when you harvest, storage life storage, what they call shelf life, is reduced. Deterioration sets in much earlier.
Okay.
So you're practically like what people say, "Ịkwọ aka tiere ọkụkọ akị." You washed your hand very clean and went to start cracking palm nuts
Yeah.
for chicken. If you do the proper thing, you work smart.
Yes.
As against toiling and toiling and toiling, and you cry that after you've suffered, you didn't get reward for your money, for your time. But when you check the whole things you did, there are holes that you need to plug. And how do you plug them? Attend seminars,
Yes.
look out for courses. They are all over the place. The ones you need to pay for them, because nothing good comes easy, like we
Some
say.
people don't like paying. Oh. They like free stuff.
Free.
Just like in one of the cybersecurity classes I had, sorry to divert, they
Okay.
told us something very important.
Mm.
If you want good antivirus, don't download free ones.
Yes.
Buy. There's a reason why the originals are
Has a
yes,
price.
exactly. They have a price tag. So pay. You have good return for your money. You have good value for your money eventually, because when you start reaping benefits from that knowledge you got,
Mm.
it's not even going to be commensurate with what you paid.
Initially.
Absolutely.
This is nice. So, what are the skills and qualities that are essential for this field?
It's very important for you to seek out knowledge, like we said initially.
Okay.
Be interested in agriculture. If you're not interested, you cannot do well in agriculture. You have to have the passion,
Yes.
and you have to have patience to pick out what you need and what
what
you
you
do
don't
not
need.
need. You also have to be able to study and read. Apart from attending seminars, you need to be able to study guides, instructions.
Okay.
When they say you should dip for 20 minutes, you dip for 20 minutes. For instance, one of the experimental ways of preserving or protecting or treating yam sets, what we call yam sets, the stuffs we plant when we cut the yams into portions that are called yam sets. One of the ways of treating yam sets is by hot water immersion, but at a degree of 53 degrees centigrade. So if you're not paying attention, you could go immerse in 100 degrees centigrade. You've cooked the yam.
Yes.
And you're immersing in 53 degrees centigrade for about 20 minutes. You see, there's time factor involved.
Mm.
So the skills, personal skills, are those things I just listed. Then academic skills, you need to improve your knowledge of basic agriculture. Before, we used to think that if the yam is not the head or the seedling, full seedling, it cannot grow.
Yes.
But improved agriculture told us otherwise.
You can use any of the sites.
You can actually get a whole yam tuber,
Okay.
cut it in sizes. Okay, let me give you an instance. A size as little as a matchbox.
Wow.
You know how matchbox is,
Yes.
okay? A size
Okay,
as
this is
little
another
as
one.
matchbox can sprout.
Wow.
Wow.
So you can make it bigger. But the truth about it is, the smaller the sets, they are called sets. The small
Yes.
cuttings are called sets.
Yeah.
SETTS. The smaller the sets, the smaller the produce. Okay. So if you want it to be bigger, you have to make it bigger. For small size yams, you can cut into two
Okay.
and plant. Okay. But the important thing is, if there's any spoiled part of it, remove before planting and do not peel.
The back.
Yes,
Okay.
because the back contains what we call yam buds, BUDS.
Okay.
And those yam buds are the sprouting basis. They are where the sprouting will occur from.
Okay.
So these are the knowledges that you have to get,
The skills.
the skills you have to get, agricultural skills you have to get.
Okay.
So those are the things you have to have ability to source information. That is skill. If you're not patient, please don't go into agriculture. If you're not.
Okay. Then again, I know people that are like, they are very good in practical works than the theory part because he said you must, read and all that. So I'm just like all
Mm.
these people in the village that still want to learn this advanced
Yes.
farming.
Yeah, the people in the village, funny enough, they, getting information, you can either get it from reading or get it from listening
Okay.
to information.
Yes.
For the villages, what we do is for like farm clusters or farmers forum
Mm,
or farmers groups,
mm,
they could have formal gatherings or informal gatherings. They walk in, some walk in, ask for information, you give the information. It can be orally passed down because every education mustn't be written.
Yes.
Every information mustn't be written. So what is important is what the person did with the information. Okay? Someone can come to a house and have stacks of books on how to fix a fan.
Mhm.
Someone can have it. Then someone else will listen to the audio and start up. Who used the information better? Someone who exactly. So oral communication can be a very solid way of passing information.
yes.
So we don't ever write off oral communication
Okay.
because we know that, of course, a good number of Nigerians do not have access to formal education, formal information.
Yes.
So even in this present day and time of social media, um, a young guy can play the information for his grandma.
Yes.
You can move it into an MP3, you can take it to radio houses. You understand every information, every way necessary. That's why it's very important for National Orientation Agency. I don't know if that particular agency is still named National Orientation Agency. They need to keep putting these in radios because that is one of the easiest information dissemination points for such persons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and I know you know about the Akonike palm farming, where they allow people to come and invest
Best, yeah.
without them not coming to do the major work, but you can invest in it with your money and you'll be getting your returns.
Of course.
So this artificial farming you're talking about, have they made any provisions for these like investors to come and invest in it?
Um, Basically, just like you said, it's mostly
Farming.
palm fruits, palm tree,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing that is mostly the hybrid.
Mm,
The fast growing versions.
okay.
Yes, there hasn't really been that forum for sack farming yet,
Okay.
and of course, that means it's a beautiful venture that is yet untapped.
Mm,
And if anyone or any organization gets to tap into this, it's going to really reap from it.
okay.
So just like I said, there hasn't really been any forum for
For
it to be
that.
tapped at the moment. Yes.
So, but are you open to like welcome develop
Absolutely.
investors to work with you on this?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because as a community development lover,
Okay.
what my interest is, what can we do to make things better? Because if it's better for you, it's better for me.
Yeah.
Because we're in the same country.
Mama.
So if there's surplus food, then that means we can do export. That means
Yes.
our GDP will get better, rise.
Yeah.
And Naira will appreciate. Who doesn't want Naira to appreciate? Anything that can make Naira to appreciate, I'm all for it.
It will reduce the importation of food.
Absolutely. Once importation goes down, exportation increases, production,
Yes.
because we're largely a consumption economy.
Yes.
But if we move into a production economy,
Mm,
just cassava made some countries rich. You know that, right?
yes.
What makes Malaysia economy one of the greatest things that make Malaysia economy? Take palm oil.
Mm.
It's a lot of economies, and we know that agriculture is the real gold,
The real goal.
Yes.
Yes.
because even in the next how many years to come, irrespective of the technological advancement
Mhm.
and tech, AI, what, food
Yes,
can
yes.
never go out of fashion.
No, no.
True.
I want to give you an illustration. There's this illustration usually said that the average rich white man
Mm.
feeds like the average wretched African man. But the average poor white man feeds like the rich African man. I'll give you the reason. If you go to the Western world and go to the organic aisle of every shopping mall,
No.
Mm.
the organic aisle, the vegetables there are costlier
Yes.
than
More
the
expensive.
canned vegetables.
Yes.
And what shows affluence in the Western world is your ability to grow your own plants
Mhm.
and your ability to buy off the organic, not just real vegetables, organic.
Yes.
Organic meaning that they were farmed with organic manure,
Yes.
Mhm.
not synthetic like the NPKs and all.
GMOs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not GMOs.
Mhm.
So, but who eats like that in Africa? The woman in the village.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is supposedly
Yes.
it's assumed that she cannot buy canned carrots.
foods, Yes.
She can't buy canned what they call
Canned
it,
corn.
canned corn.
Yes.
But the white man that is very rich doesn't
The
want canned
sausages,
corn.
hot
He
dog
doesn't want
sausages.
exactly. He
Yes.
doesn't want canned corn.
Mhm.
He wants there's something they usually call it corn on the cob.
Yes.
That
corn
they
on the
ate
cob.
corn on the cob is one big bourgeois thing.
Yes.
For the
Eating corn on the
elites.
exactly eating corn on the cob, and funny enough, when they go to restaurants, it's not even full cob. Oh. It's half.
Yes.
It's
I've
half.
seen their plates
Mhm.
that they ate corn on the cob, they ate parsley, they ate lettuce, they ate organic.
Green.
It's more than 10 times the value of peasant food, canned food.
Yes.
But when we come to Nigeria,
We look down on the organic.
what we used to know the bourgeois is when you get to their kitchen, can this, can
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
can this,
I got
can that.
this. I got this.
Exactly. I'm eating sweet corn off the can. I'm like, oh,
And these are the reasons why cancers are increasing.
that is the reason why all of a sudden cancer that was not dominant in Africa is
Yes.
coming to Africa.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of GMOs,
Even
we
the
have a lot of
diabetes.
exactly.
Mm.
In the time of old, we didn't know that. It was not in our thing.
Even in our kids, we hear sicknesses like ADHD
And these are things that are brought in by all the genetically modified food, the preservatives.
junks.
They are
They're running away from the main food.
the overtly processed foods are the
Yeah.
bane of the bourgeois. Someone asked me yesterday, just yesterday, why is it that the poor people, supposed poor people in the village, don't suffer from kidney failure? We have the answer at the
True.
fingertip.
True.
Yes.
Or
Why is it
liver
that we
failure.
exactly? Why is it that it's mostly people who live in the urban that we always hear suffer from kidney failure, or liver organ related failure?
Heart failure.
The story is not far away. That is where you get the lightning creams.
True.
That is where you get the canned food. That is where you get the overtly processed food. Because why I use the word overtly is there is a little bit of processing in some of the food we eat, but there are some that are overtly processed.
Yes.
Top on the list, hot dogs,
Hot
the
dogs.
sausages.
Shawarma.
We all hear about it,
Pizza.
but
Pizza.
we, most of us actually crave
Yeah.
for this. Today is Wednesday. Day after tomorrow is what?
Valentine's.
And a lot of people, if their boyfriend don't buy them shawarma with hot dog, shawarma is good.
Like 2 hot dogs
If
inside.
there's no hot dog in it, he doesn't love me enough.
Mm. You can't spend on me.
But if that same boyfriend buys them vegetable soup, he's a local man.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a
So
typical Igbo
It's not
man.
romantic.
so there's this general thing that is always being said: if it doesn't grow on trees,
Mm.
it doesn't grow on trees,
Mm.
and you do not use it the way it looks like straight from the tree,
Mm.
it's not really that safe.
If nature didn't make it, don't take it.
Mm.
That's a very beautiful way to put it. If nature didn't make it, don't take
Take
it.
it, yeah.
The healthiest things are the ones off your tree. Off your tree. There's actually no two ways about it. Eat your veggies, eat your grown food. But they're not going to be grown by aliens. They're going to be grown by you and I.
Yes. And another thing is those in the village, they sleep on time
Yes.
and they're surrounded with
Yes.
nature.
Nature.
That's people now in the town are learning from them. You yeah, my estate has greeneries, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. We need to be more attuned with nature. It doesn't do nothing. It doesn't do us any harm. Nature is we are natural.
Yeah.
We should find a way to maintain that balance. There's actually nothing wrong with being modernized. Of
Yes.
course, it's beautiful.
Mm.
Being tech savvy. Oh my God, the world is going tech. But it's supposed to be for improved
Improvement.
living.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to
Oh,
entirely scrap out the natural
exactly.
things.
It's supposed to be for improved living. For instance, the social media has helped us realize that we can actually get information around in very little time.
Yes.
Okay. And the advantage of the social media should be I'm in my house farming. Oh no, I can easily show 1,000 persons how I am doing the farming and how you can do it. Not devices of social media.
Okay, so you create educative content on the
Yes,
social media
we
space.
yes, we actually had an online class, a WhatsApp online class on Saturday.
Okay.
That's social media. When it's necessary, we can create like a Zoom class. Everyone will go to their sites and show working.
Okay.
So sometimes we actually show you what you need. If you don't have it, we move it to where you are.
Okay.
Okay. So some people don't have very good topsoil. We show them what topsoil is and show them where they can get. We can actually just connect with someone who can get it through social media.
Yes, sure.
The person will send topsoil to them. You know, some soils are better than others.
Yes, sure.
So soil for like as I am, I can be here. Someone in Izago,
Mm.
in the local government, will get a truckload of topsoil for me in Independence Layout
Made easy.
without me going to Izago, without the seller himself even coming to Independence Layout.
Yeah.
He can give my details to the driver. The driver will ship topsoil to me in Independence Layout. And we spoke social media, video. I've seen the topsoil as long as your interactions, you are not putting any type of tricks
Yes.
in your business. You can conduct that. I have a lot of people that I've done businesses with for over 5 years that I don't even know if they are fair or dark. Yes, I don't know what they look like. All I know is their name and account number
And they
and their
trust your
beneficiaries. Of
Yes.
course, because when you do business over time, you have your name out there.
and people are watching.
And people are watching. And this
We
is
don't
a
want any bad reputation.
and this is a social media age where anyone can be tracked at any time.
Yes.
And what exactly are you going to gain by tricking? How many people are you going to succeed in tricking? So it's better that we actually make good use of this social media age. You can form a community of farmers, teach each other, learn. You say, no, 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 I think it's being done better this way. Okay, don't use jute bag I think Bako sack would be better. Okay, I think I had a better yield with cement bag. These are things that you can share with
Okay.
each other.
Rub minds together.
Exactly. Someone can actually get into yam seedlings business, cut sets, very little sets, and keep producing yam seedling. Because when you produce yam seedling,
Yes.
someone can come in a community, like I mentioned, I'm a vet. Someone needed a Lhasa Chihuahua mix in my clientele group, which is away from the sack farming group.
Yes.
Yes.
I just did a connection, and he didn't have to come all the way from Omombandiago to my place in Ninth Mile in Go. He didn't
Okay.
have to waste transport.
Yes.
He just asked a question, and I first of all spoke with the other person who I know had what he needed, and said, "Okay, you have it, right? I've confirmed you have it. I'm going to tag you." You made a connection.
Yes.
So same way, you can make connections.
Yeah.
You have what I need. I have what you need.
You
Please,
transact.
let's transact. Let's make be. There is enough space in the sky for every
Everybody.
farmer. Like I said, if we have enough, we can then export. And you know, a lot of people are learning. There's a lot of classes on how to export to the UK, to the US.
Okay.
People actually farm and people buy, source from markets and export. So if you are a farmer that is having enough, you can go into social media and tell people, this is my yield.
Yeah.
Those interested in buying, people can actually come and buy directly from you. What you're producing is quality, whatever, if
Yes.
quality stuff. They can transport. I know people who are into palm fruit processing, and their palm oil doesn't even enter Ogbete market. It doesn't enter general consumer market. People come to them
And
and
buy it off.
package and export.
Oh,
Wow.
So there's a lot of business
Going down.
going down. Find your niche.
Yes.
Agriculture is so vast. Agriculture is vast. There was a farmer that showed us his potato yield. Sack farming, tremendous, so encouraging. So what's important is just get the proper knowledge before you plant. Know how to treat your sets or seedlings before you plant. Know the depth you should put it in the bag. Know where to place them. Just know that the vines like sunlight, so you need to stake them, let them go up. Know that you need to treat your soil, you need to treat your compost, manure, poultry manure, NPK, whether it's 20-10-10, whether it's 15-15-15, whether it's 20-20-20, know where to source them.
Yes.
They are in the market. Know when to, you can plant at any time of the year as long as you have irrigation.
Yeah.
And the irrigation is not grandiose. It can be line irrigation. You
Okay.
put a tank at an elevated place,
Okay.
line your pipe, fix them into each bag will have an outlet from the pipe will go into each bag. That way the soil is moist continuously.
In and out of season.
Exactly. Right about now, there is okra in the market.
Yes.
This is February. We don't have rainy season. The supposed and generally called Ndi Mmiri, that is those who plant by irrigation, either by planting beside the stream or dredging the stream with sumo and pipe to
So
where they
water.
farm. That is
Yes.
irrigation.
Yes. Yes.
And there's okra. This is not rainy season. This is the cheapest I got tomatoes in a year. I bought tomatoes about 2 weeks ago. A big basket from Gariki at 35,000. Very big basket. That the content can fill 6 backhoe bags. So where did they come from? Does the north have rains right now? No.
No.
There is yam in the market. Not necessarily that old yam.
Mm.
And yams don't take so long to grow, 5 to 7 months
Months.
in the soil. They are mature. And it's easy for you to know when they are mature. The vines start drying and withering. And the loss from sack farming is less during harvesting. You just open up your bag and bring out your yam, as
Mm.
against digging and digging without
Yes.
knowing the depth.
Yes.
But in sack farming, you know the depth.
And na asị na ọnwa inu ndị Igbo tụ sị na nwata kwụlụ ọtọ gwuo ji
Gwoji,
isi ya otukwuluzi ana
Poputia.
ya.
But in sack farming has pretty much defied that
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah.
Because as at that time when that statement was being done, everything about farming was underground.
Yes.
But this is in a soil above the ground.
So, but they will still have the same, qualities,
Yeah, for instance, if you farm,
the same nutrients.
yeah, that's why I say you treat your soil and there's going to be fertilizers.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yes, and there is topsoil. That's topsoil is a rich type of soil. Is a fertile type of soil. It's called topsoil.
Okay.
And we use it, you cure it, you put it under the sun, you cure it to like eliminate a great number of harmful microbes and nematodes. Those are pests.
Okay.
And then you mix with compost or manure or fertilizer in the bag before you plant. And the soil must be moist because you're not going to plant in a dry soil. And there's supposed to be at least 6 inches of soil above your yam. 6 inches is arbitrarily let me use the popular water bottle we do, Aquarafa, Aquafina.
Yes.
Half of it middle.
Yes.
When you cut middle, that's approximately 6 inches. Or you can
Okay.
use a 6 inch nail to make your measurement. Okay, that's for people in a place where you say, I don't have a tape to start measuring 6 inches. I'm just giving you an idea of what 6 inches would be in
Okay.
measurement. So when you plant, but before you plant, like I said, you need to treat the yam. Okay, whether it's yam seedling or yam set, you need to treat the yam. You dip it in insecticide or fungicide and set aside in a place under a shade. For some people keep as much as 2 weeks, some keep as much as 1 month. Some keep till it starts sprouting. Just teeny weeny brown green sprouts, then they plant. And that way, some people do it to eliminate waste of space so that they don't go planting those that won't sprout. So
Okay.
these are reasons. Some people don't bother. Once they treat for a couple of days, they keep when they treat deep and keep in a shaded place, they could decide to keep it just for a couple of days and then plant. Straight up. It's it just goes that way. And when you plant, just make sure it is adequately irrigated.
Yes.
And about 2 months after, you reapply fertilizer or
Okay.
manure, okay, just around the plant itself. And you try to use stakes, bamboo, twine to take the vines up because they are vertical climbers. And because you're trying to save space, it's not doesn't really make sense allowing the vines to spread around in your compound. Doesn't make sense. So you are doing that because you want to save space. So you need to find something to keep it up.
Okay.
And it loves sunlight. And there's this thing about yams. They respond to fertilizers very well.
I've seen some people do this stuff. Like they even get something like tents and put all these artificial, advanced kind of inside that tents.
I talk about the one that has a net kind of mesh. That's called a greenhouse, and that one is usually done for very foliage crops like vegetables.
Delicate crops.
Yeah,
Or
foliage like
okay.
green leafy crops
Mm-hmm.
like vegetables.
Mm.
What they do with that is
Peppers.
that yes, peppers, they use it to kind of shield them from immediate harsh sunlight. They kind of reach the sun,
Mm.
and then the mesh is there to prevent insects.
From
Because
eating
yes,
the
because
crops.
yes, anything that is foliage that has broad leaves
Mm.
has issue with pests. Because what you are most of the things is either you are marketing the leaf in case of vegetables, or the leaves are the easiest way for them to make food.
Mm.
So once insects or fungus damage the leaves, then no food for the roots. For instance, carrots.
Mm.
No food for the root. For instance, this bag farming I spoke about. Yes. Carrots can also, cabbage can also be grown in bags.
Mm.
These are things that you can grow. Ginger,
Turmeric,
turmeric,
garlic.
yes, can be grown in bags. So why that greenhouse scenario is done is basically for temperature regulation, for sunlight, kind of UV rays
Mm.
blocking and all. It's a different type of farming. It's a little bit intensive, but it's very effective.
Mm. Wow.
And it's used to grow those vegetables that ordinarily we find only in the tropics.
Mm.
Because if you go into the greenhouse itself, because of the special materials used in building the house, once it is built well, because of the layout, the inside, the inner part of the greenhouse is usually cooler.
Mm.
Okay, there's just ambient temperature there. Okay. There are some kind of special materials used to build it so that it keeps off the harsh sun rays
Mm.
and keeps off the insects, like I said, and a good number of pests or harmful things to the plants. So that greenhouse environment is something that is I know a good number. I've visited some even in my place in Wo here, where you see people that are really passionate about agriculture,
Mm.
having greenhouse built and effective. They have bell peppers, tomatoes,
Mm.
beautiful vegetables.
Yeah.
The parsley, the broccoli,
Mm.
yeah, the lettuce. They grew them here
Wow.
because we used to think that it was only in Jos
Mm.
that you could grow them. Very interestingly, they're growing here in any state here. Left for me, I have plenty questions. So I don't know if you have questions because
Yeah.
the topic is becoming more
It's
fun.
becoming quite interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay, Ma. So, as a visionary and someone who is very futuristic in your career, where do you see yourself in, let's say, 5 to 10 years time, and what impact do you want to like have on the agricultural sector? Generally.
My interest is having more people be more knowledgeable
Mm.
and having more people in the next 5 years. I'd like to see a very effective community of achievers in the
Mm.
sector of agriculture.
Mm.
I'd like to see, I'm a very practical person. I like being very realistic.
Mm.
And in everything I do, I like results.
Mm.
For instance, if you tell me this is not available, that is not available, what I usually ask you is what's the way forward.
Yes.
So I want a situation where we'll have people who will be asking what's the way forward in agriculture?
Exactly.
What can we do better? That is one of the things that I would say the Western world supposedly has as an advantage over us. They keep thinking of what we can do better.
Mm.
So in this aspect of agriculture, I'd like to see a situation where people can say, okay, this is how we get to do it. If I don't have money, this is how I can get it. If I don't have product, this is how we get to do it.
Exactly.
Everything shouldn't start and end in the southwest of Nigeria, because those great people are, oh my god, they are so ahead agriculturally.
Wow.
I took my hat to the southwestern brothers in Nigeria.
Mm.
The agricultural advancement in that section, livestock,
Mm.
I think encompassing
Yeah,
poultry or
poultry,
whatnot,
yeah.
and crop agriculture, they are. I'd like to use the word, they are decades ahead.
Including fish farming.
Oh my goodness, name it,
Mm.
name it, anything agriculture, name it, because they attend seminar like let me permit me to use it, like tomorrow no day.
Yes.
Like they attend seminar like kilo day. So up to the extent that if you are involved in agriculture and your headquarters is not in the southwest, it's kind of believed somehow that you not yet, you never start. You never start.
You're a
So
newbie.
yeah. So what is it that they are doing better? That is one of the things that we should understand.
Yes.
I think one of the things they're doing better is they learn, they do.
Yes.
They don't pack theories. They learn, they do. They make mistake, they redo. They make mistake, they redo.
do.
Actually, right now there is a feed industry that currently has been have been speaking with, and the owner of the feed industry told me that they came into Ogun State, they set camp, they produced, they had an error in a batch because of production manager.
Mm.
What did they do? They recalled all the feed up to farms. They recalled all the feed, sold it to pig farmers that can put supplements and boost
Yes.
on site, took their factory back to the administrative block where they can now put eye on production directly, and they resume production.
Wow.
So you fall 7 times, pick yourself up 7 times. Don't stick to theory. Do the do.
Practical.
Get in there. No one say you won't make mistakes. You won't make mistake. The good thing about what the farm, this feed factory did, the good thing that is there for them is that the major distributors from which they recall their feed when they made an error were in a hurry. They were so willing to take back their feed when they corrected them, because it was a great thing of integrity that you found out that you had a mistake. You did not start gaslighting
Yes.
your downline, and it's about re-engineering of our minds.
Yes.
What we take as norm is what was sold to us, right? So right now, if you can start selling that the norm should be agriculture, the youth will embrace it. Let's make it very interesting. The government should make it interesting,
Okay.
and that would make me a very happy person. So I actually see myself in the very future as someone who has been able to impact in people and have people who I can say, okay, you need clarification on this. Okay, go meet Jade. He'll put you through this. This is his specialty. You need a specialty on potatoes. Okay, oh, I'd like you to see Chika. Chika is so good. These are people that have gone through me. I will now be the author and finisher.
Sure,
I will
yes.
be the only
You have
one.
to give others space to
I
shine.
want people to grow.
Yes.
And grow properly. So when I look at my back, there's a battalion, there's a legion of people who are waiting for who to impact them.
Amazing.
Okay, so you said there was something you mentioned, governments making it interesting. So now, we're in Nigeria. I don't know how this government of the thing works. So are there some kind of things you want to put out there that the government to take note of? Like taking loans, empowering the agricultural sector.
Yes.
Because
Private
there are some
individuals.
people that actually doing well also, but they need people to like fund them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I made mention of a young friend of mine that is that young man, if If you give him 1 million now, naira, you'll be surprised what he will do.
1 million.
With 1 million, if you give
Wow.
him 10 million naira, you'll be shocked to stupor. Because
He's not going to misuse it.
no, he already knows what he wants to do with it.
Okay.
He already knows what he can do with it. He's already doing so much with little personal funds.
Yeah.
So it's usually said to whom much is given, much is expected, right?
Yeah.
But someone who makes so much out of nothing, if you give that person much, he's going to make a boom out of that much.
To whom much is given, much is expected.
Much is expected. That is especially when that person will be able to use the much. There are a good number of Nigerian youths who are interested in agriculture. The word is interest.
Yes.
Who are experienced in agriculture. That is another word. Experience. Who have the capacity to be focused, who are willing to do a lot in agriculture. But with the concept of what is usually being said, Nigeria is happening to a lot of us. There is really not enough fun for a lot of people to eat twice a day, let alone invest in agriculture.
Most of them are withdrawing back.
Yes.
A lot of people are withdrawing, and I'd like to say this to the government: why a lot of people are going to white collar jobs? It's not because they don't like agriculture, but you need to have funding that you cannot touch and feed from for you to venture into business. That's the reality of life. If you do not have enough funding that you cannot spend from, that means you already are capable of feeding from something else.
Yes.
You don't have untouchable capital that is unspendable in terms of feeding. It's going to be difficult for you to get business. For instance, my youngest brother, when he wanted to start up his business, his immediate elder one, what he did was that he's going to feed him for 2 years so that he will not touch his capital for 2 years.
Mm.
Do we have a situation where the government can give you a workable capital? That is a very important thing. And we need a government environment that is realistic in setting workable blueprints for agriculture. Agriculture is not something that we need to expose to politicizing.
True.
When you politicize agriculture, when you politicize those that handle our agricultural sector, when you extremely politicize and do a lot too much bureaucracy with agricultural blueprints, you won't get it right.
True.
I've had they give grants, but
Yes,
most
there
don't
are
really get
grants.
They don't have access to those
There are
grants.
grants, yes. I wouldn't say there are no grants because I'm not the government. They say there are grants. Oh, there are grants.
We know they're rich now.
But who does it get
Who does
to?
it get to?
It gets to people who front agricultural companies, but they're not really doing agriculture.
True. It's a facade.
Government should actually reduce their emphasis on grandiose registered companies and all that. Take it to the grassroots.
Most
Grassroots.
of them are doing just packaging.
A
Packaging.
lot of people producing do not have company names.
True.
A lot of people bringing produce to market, they don't have
Company names.
Go to Odeba in New Market. That's those women that bring truckloads. Like when I say truckload, I mean
Yam.
truckloads of yam, vegetables. Ask them for company name. They'll look at you like you lost the way.
True.
There are people who need this
And
sponsor.
these are the major people.
Those are the major holders of our economy. The commissioners' wives, the palm sex wives, they come to those local markets to buy those produce. Why do they come there? They know that that is where they get the fresh and the perfect organic vegetables and fruits and foodstuffs. Why don't they go to ShopRite and buy them? No, let's ask ourselves the
Yes.
question. So how then do you make room for more production. Funding. Lies not told. A lot of farmers, even in the village, they don't mind loans. Not even grants now. They don't mind loans
Loans.
with good interest. They don't mind loans. They're willing to pay, but the process of assessing these loans,
Loans.
oh
Tedious.
my
Very long.
They'll tell
God.
you to bring your great grandfather.
Or
Like
they'll tell you if you have a plot of
A
land.
plot of
it
land,
is so
collateral.
much. This is someone whose home you know. You can actually tell the person's land. You have seen the land. If the person doesn't pay, you can possess the land now.
True.
These are things that can be done. You can do like get lawyers. The children can come and read and be sure that what you are reading is what the agreements
Yes,
are
before they
not
sign any
tricky.
contract, yes.
Exactly. There's so many ways to go about this stuff.
And I think maybe the interest rates they are requesting from them are way too high.
Might be too high,
Some of the
yes.
interest rates are jokes apart. Some of the interest rates are ridiculous. But for the interest rates that are friendly, they're not even accessible. Most of them are being given on IM basis. When I'm mad,
Yeah.
who you
Carry you
know.
Who do you know? Yes.
I know some people who got grants, who use the grants money to relocate. Yes,
Jabba.
because there isn't that real time system of disbursement, monitoring, and mentoring. If you put this into, for instance, if the Ministry of Agriculture can have a grant viewing desk, you put in your name, you put in your address, give your details, BBN, NIN, and everything, and they'll do an independent investigation on you without bias, without politics. Grassroots people will talk. There are a lot of grassroots potential. The government really wants to do this. It can really do. My own is being really willing to. Let's in agriculture, let's reduce rabble rousing and politics
Yes.
in agriculture. Once it comes to agriculture, once it comes to health and education,
Mm.
we need to scrap unnecessary politics and do the real deal. Get down to the matter. Don't bring to the boardroom people that have never really lived in these rural areas where the production is done. Because they're going to bring out theoretical things that
That might not be relatable.
when they start saying it, you start looking at them like, where did this person fall from? So you need to go down,
So
find
they're
out
on the ground.
the real key players. You don't have to tell them you're from the government. Engage them, psych them, get your information. Do the FBI thing. Then. It's not only on security that you do FBI. Not only on security that you do, intelligence. You can do intelligence in agriculture.
Background checks.
Yes.
Background checks, true.
Do the real thing. You get. And it's very important that we don't lose focus. Because if you spoil our agricultural, um, what do I call it, and our agricultural foundation, and you are planning to leave and you'll never be part of it, you don't know what tomorrow holds. You might be stuck here because you don't have food.
Yes. All of us will suffer.
At one point in time, you'll be affected. So we actually need to call it our collective need. There was a time there was no onion.
Yes. Onions was gold.
All of us suffer.
The price of the wages now.
It's available right now. We shouldn't have had that kind of scarcity. We really shouldn't. This is a nation that has a lot of agricultural land. Not just a lot of land, not of agricultural land.
You see them when you're traveling interstates, those empty
Yes,
lands.
absolutely. Everything is not about mining, and all of that. Those that are naive, what would they eat?
Exactly.
And at this point, we're not even talking about agro processing in terms of preservation and that.
Okay.
That is a different kettle of fish. We're talking about production. Let's even produce and eat.
Yes.
Because, like we say, if we produce enough, good. If we produce excess, fine. If we produce excessively, better. That way we can feed other nations
Mm.
and be richer ourselves.
So that's great. So I want you to answer me this question. What advice would you give to your younger self?
My younger self should farm smart. Farm smart and improve yourself.
Mm.
Learn. Learn everything. You can even include tech in your farming.
Mm.
Security is tech.
Mhm.
You can do tech. Temperature regulation is tech.
Mm.
Farm smart. Learn how to do it yourself. And the ones you cannot do yourself, outsource
Mm.
and learn when you're outsourcing. So if the person you outsource to is not available,
Mm.
there won't be that. You'll be
Yes.
able to do some to an extent until you see someone who is possibly a professional in what you outsource.
Mm.
And every opportunity you have to learn something, please learn it. We have I heard that people from Ethiopia, an average person from Ethiopia speaks um 7 to 8 languages. It's an
Wow.
advantage.
It is.
That is why a lot of them work in international organizations. Nothing learned is a
It's a
waste.
waste. It will always come in handy.
Yes, it does. Even if you don't use it immediately, there's a level of confidence it
In
gives you
case you yes.
that knowledge gives you.
Mm-hmm.
And irrespective of the environment you find yourself, you cannot float. Because wherever the discussion comes in, you'll be relevant. You'll be able to say something or the other.
I would like to get to know if there's any advice you've gotten from a mentor or someone you're looking up to.
Yes. Even though I've not met her in person, like we've not really had
Mm.
direct contact.
Conversations.
Yes,
Yes.
I have people whose lifestyles and stories went on.
Mm.
So such a person is Professor Joy Uniso. She is one of the Hall of Fame awardees of Amadio
Mm.
in conjunction with Copen. She said something that we should always live like a tide that always, what you see when a ripple, when you throw a stone in water,
Okay.
the ripple keeps spreading, yeah,
Yes.
until it flattens out. It starts with maybe 2 rains, 4 rains, 5 rains, and keeps going. That's how your impact should keep going
Mm.
until you pay. And that ripple is what is going to make your time worthwhile. It's not about how short or long you live. It's about what level of impact you were able to make. In my community, I work with a team in Boyolo Pages. What we do is we keep looking for a way we can make people come out, shine, and be who they can be.
Okay.
You're looking for a job, we'll find a team that can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Brush up your CV, write your CV, teach you how to write your CV. Tomorrow you are off the job market, we're happy. There's a skill training, we get people, do the skill, get them fixed. Scholarship comes up. Anyone that has a scholarship to offer will find people that need it. Always find a way to help. If you're not helping in your community, you're not doing anything.
Sure.
The community does not start and end with you. So if you end up satisfying
Yourself and
yourself
your family.
and your family, that is your obligation. You didn't do
Yes.
anything spectacular.
Exactly.
Mhm. There are so many people who have influenced my life even without meeting me. There's some people that whose life have been influenced without even meeting the person. I've influenced you. They call me on the phone. They want to come and see me. I tell them, the best way you can pay me back, pay it forward,
Mm.
give it to someone else. I so believe in that because what are you going to get from me? Wine? I have like the wine gifts I have in my house. I'm not a sucker for wine.
Mm.
The other day I was cleaning up my closet and I saw one. I was like, oh, the wine. Okay, if I drink it, is it not finished?
Mhm.
But if I see that you are holding seminars, you are handling youth retreats, you are going to
Outreaches.
school, teaching people, you're
Mm.
doing
Outreaches.
outreaches, medical outreach, teaching, giving out. It gladdens me because that way you are leaving a mark in the sands of time. I don't want to start calling politicians in as
Mhm.
everything, but there's a man I hold dear to my heart. I hope he's not going to start sounding political if I mention his name.
No, it's alright.
I'm from Ungo, like I say,
Okay.
and that means by extension I'm from Enugu West Senatorial District.
Mhm.
Another person I'm so learning from is my senator, Senator Sitam.
Sit down.
Yes, he has not been a propagandist, but he been so much in the aspect of human capital.
Wow.
Yes, infrastructure wise, oh my God, there are so many roads being at different stage of construction in Enugu West
Mm.
across the five local government areas,
Yeah.
including my own in Ungo. There are over 15 roads. Not this is not propaganda.
Your community.
In Ungo, as a general, Ungo is a big place.
Okay.
In my own community, Oboji, there's a road that has been promised for over 20 years and I've known the
That's
place.
over a decade.
Yes, currently
Yes.
the road is under construction, drainages like solid drainages. What he has taught me in his little stay in office is impact, real impact. He just recently um, facilitated a cybersecurity training of 20 years from Enugu West.
Mm.
Impact.
Okay.
A lot of things. I keep telling people sometimes you have to be exceptional for you to function beyond politics. A lot of his impacts are beyond politics. June last year, he doled out 81 million naira in scholarship. I am I am at the center of the disbursement of scholarship funds. So this is not them say
Mm.
this is
You did it.
it's
That's
real.
solid.
A lot of these students are in UNN, UNIZIC,
Mm.
FUNAI,
Unique.
absolutely. So the disbursements of the funds have started for those that got the admission. It is real. So these are people that make me stay on my toes. When I think I've done so much, I see them doing so much more.
And you're motivated again.
Work more.
He doesn't believe in stomach infrastructure as much as in real infrastructure.
Mm.
He does stomach infrastructure as much as he can, but real infrastructure is human capital development.
Mm-hmm.
If there is any such in this what they call it now agricultural seminars and if he hears about it, he finances it.
Wow.
These are the kind of things we need to be doing. And he's taking a very big cue from the state governor because he doesn't play with he likes yes, he likes the idea of the state governor. Okay. Governor Peter Mbama. But this is not me but this is me talking about the one that I have seen.
Mm.
You trying to encourage other people.
Encourage other people, get involved. like I told you about my team, we always encourage people. That's how I got involved with Copen and Amadi and all of that.
These are real estate companies.
These are real estate companies, and they are also involved in community development project because they believe so much in giving back to the community. So even my team in Ngo LPGs, we also kind of married with Amadi and Copen, the real estate company, and we said, how can we are seeing that what you're doing is what we're doing, but we're like a junior. How can we? So it was through the that platform of the community development initiative that I got this training, this course. And some other people have been trained, and I encourage them to train. So if you keep
That's on the legacy.
pass it on, pass on the information. No one dies with information, and that information is used to build a reef on the grave for you.